Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Edna and Harvey, the Breakout. Last we left off, my hopes of getting a fourth item that I could use to doodle over everything was summarily dashed when I traded away the cup of coffee and got a cup of earwax in return. To be fair, the game heavily hinted that this is what we get, but I still hoped in my heart that it wouldn't be so. This is quite useful. We're going to be using this with the fly eventually to solve a puzzle, but eventually is not yet, because these items need to be used on other things first, starting with this poster here.
It's not fly paper, it's a memo to the inmates.
We could still probably stick the fly to it. We have put enough stuff on it that the fly would just stay there. We could just dollop it in the mustard, for instance.
It says the spoons are missing. I find it highly unlikely that they dissolved in the stinky drink.
I don't know, they could have dissolved in a stinky drink. That stuff is kind of terrifying.
Not necessary. It is perfectly intelligible without wasting any earwax.
Fair enough. Let's go back into here and use these items on the shelf of infinite board games. What game shall we find if we show it the fly?
There's another game here, Flatbread Fandango.
I don't know what that has to do with the fly, apart from the fact that both of the words in that game start with the letter F.
There's another game here, Shake It Like Grandpa.
That game does not sound very fun to play.
There's another game here, Open Your Ears.
That game just sounds a bit peculiar. Juggle, what do you think of the fly?
I'd better not show that to him. I don't want him thinking poorly of me.
I could understand why he would.
I'd better not show that. I don't want him
And I can definitely understand why he'd think less of you if you showed him that stinky drink glass.
I'd better not show that. I don't want him.
And the same with the earwax. What about the sofa?
Maybe I can find some more flies in the cracks. Darn it! Roaches, earwigs, spiders, but no flies.
You didn't add any of those other things to our inventory? But we have so many more spaces, Edna! Think of all the possibilities! The possibilities!
No. Cocktail parties are standing room only.
Fair enough. We can't get rid of the glass that way. Oh, we can use this to make mess? Oh, we're gonna have to do that. There's another sofa here. Time to make mess! Can we see it? Yes, we can see the mess! Aha! Even more mayhem! Even though it's short-lived with the earwax. Would you like a fly, Alaman?
Look what I found in my drink.
Ah, yes. The cocktail specialty of the barkeeper. That's another...
The first part of that was something I hadn't heard before, and the rest of it was.
Do you want this awful smelling glass?
Ah, yes. That's another...
I don't think he does. What about the earwax?
Care for a bit of earwax?
Incredible. The cup is filled right to the rim, and it's a phenomenal amber color. I'll have to give it a pass, though. I don't eat solid food anymore. And even if I did, I'd have given it up just now.
Fair enough. What if we showed these things to the most helpful sign in the game?
Fly to the right to get to the phone.
I see what you did there, game. Very clever.
How do I get to the bar?
Hard to say. I only know the way to the phone.
You do, but you know that way so well.
Not necessary. It is perfectly...
Now I wonder what will happen if I try to use the earwax here.
I'd love to.
Trying to stick earwax to a board with a pin would be quite an achievement. Can we get more coins with the fly?
They're both kaput.
Never heard of the guy. Is he another guard?
Oh, Harvey, it's just a figure of speech.
That it is. But I see your attempts at humor there, Harvey, and give them a 6 out of 10.
Even though it may look like one, it is not a pop machine.
And it certainly isn't a stinky drink machine, that's for sure. What about using the earwax with this?
Earwax is neither part of the problem nor part of the solution here.
And it's not even part of the precipitate either. See what I did there?
It doesn't circle the light.
You're not using it right. Here, let me try. Oh, well, it still has 5 legs left.
Oh no! It only has 5 legs now? It actually looks like it only has 5. Did it change, or did it always look like that? We may never know.
Cola Light, now with 0 cola.
Do you actually pretend to drink from the stinky drink cup? That's a terrible idea. You'll smell the stinky drink. The memories, the terrible memories.
Ooh, it glitters like amber.
Okay, game. You don't have to be any less subtle. I get what you're trying to make me do. And that is that we're going to go over here and into here. No point offering any of these items over to Bruce Broker. We could offer these items up to the television, though. And there's a missed opportunity not to see what the Stinky Drink's favourite show was. But we can at least find out what the Fly likes to watch.
The Fly is a big fan of the Back to the Future trilogy.
I really empathize with the main character.
I can't imagine why.
The cocktail glass adores James Bond movies.
Martini, shaken, not stirred.
That definitely doesn't surprise me. What about the earwax?
The earwax loves the first Karate Kid movie.
Racks on, racks off.
That doesn't surprise me either. Hey, Professor, would you like a fly? Would the armchair like a fly first?
Maybe it just needs some rest.
It'll come around.
I hope so.
No, thank you.
That's the same as always. What about earwax?
Tempting, but no.
Why not? It's right there. We could do it. Let's show you the fly.
I've got something for you.
What am I supposed to do with a fly? I need dino DNA. I have to admit, though, it reminds me of a mosquito drunk on dino blood. But if it isn't embedded in amber, it is not a fossil. And as long as it's not a fossil, it's of no value to me.
If the game hadn't spelt it out clearly enough before, it certainly has now. But we're going to ignore what it's spelling out and instead offer this terrible cocktail glass with remnants of stinky drink in it.
Do you want this empty glass?
Is there dino DNA in there?
Judging by the taste, yes.
I need real dino DNA. I'd prefer freshly picked and sealed in amber.
And while I'm thinking about it, and after I decide to use the earwax on Professor Nog, we're going to use these items on the ashtray.
I've got something for you.
Oh, amber! From the Peruvian amber mines! Oh, what a shame. There's no occlusion in there. I can't use it for my dino breeding program this way. You can have it back. But please keep on searching. Not long from now, my army of dinosaurs will march the globe.
I think you're going to be very disappointed with your dinosaurs if you use the DNA from what's eventually going to be in that amber. I say amber because it's really not amber. And it's definitely not dino DNA you're going to be getting. Let's use the fly with the ashtray.
It could be a state-of-the-art fly trap.
The disgusting odor is more likely to drive every fly to the nearest toilet.
That it is. What about the cocktail glass?
It could be a cup holder for the armrest.
Now you're just being silly, Edna. You know chairs don't drink.
Only now we're being silly? Only now? Have you seen all of the stuff that came before this? All of it? In its entirety?
It could be a container for Q-tips.
Only for used ones, from the look of it.
Let us do now what we need to do, and that is using the fly with the earwax.
I could press the fly into the earwax.
That sounds good to my ears.
So why don't we just do it? It resembles a mosquito that's been enclosed in tree resin.
We have a fake. Fly in earwax. Let's look at it.
This fly has found an amber grave. This reminds me of something. What can it be?
I wonder.
Mr. Hammond is exactly like me. He's a tiger.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea.
Me neither. Harvey?
Monsieur, care for a drink?
Yum! With meaty bits.
I don't think you should be drinking that.
Hygiene is a very big thing with me.
So big that it doesn't fit through the door anymore and has to wait outside.
That must be pretty large.
What do you think, Harvey?
Fly, mallet, and earwax? I tried that once. Believe me, you don't want to do that.
Why not? What happens? Does the world end?
Ooh, there's already some beware.
That's no different.
In issue 212, Captain Useless is fighting against fossil embeddings in amber.
Fossilized amber insects don't really sound like worthy adversaries.
They are very poor at attacking, but they can survive almost anything.
And eventually, they wore down Captain Useless. Will he prevail? Find out in issue 213. Good luck getting it.
Maybe I should save the fly from the earwax with these potholders.
I don't think you should.
Because that would be too disgusting, even for you?
No, I think it's feeling quite comfortable in there.
It's probably not feeling anything in there, to be fair.
A tiny little dash can't hurt, I'd say. Delicious mix.
That's probably going to be the same for the ketchup too, but we might hear a different version of the line.
A tiny little dash can't hurt, I'd say. Delicious mix.
If we weren't going to have the fly and the earwax in our inventory for very long, you really don't have this in your inventory very long at all. Because we're meant to just hand this over to the professor. But we're not going to do that just yet.
I'm pretty sure that there are laws against something like this.
And yet we did it anyway. Can we combine this with the cornflakes?
Cornflakes with honey.
I'll have mine without.
That's a sensible idea.
Looking back, I should have used the filthy cup for the earwax.
Too bad we can't go back in time to change that.
You could tempomorph me.
Fiddlesticks.
Well, why don't you? Tempomorph us to about 5 minutes ago, Harvey. And then we can swap the cups around, and then Miss Cup will finally have a use, but no. No, it cannot be. Alas.
Even if I wanted to repot it, it wouldn't go down without a fight.
That it wouldn't.
The key really doesn't fit here anymore.
It didn't really fit to begin with, to be fair.
I should save the fly with the fork.
Why? I bet it has its own escape plan, like the dinosaurs.
The dinos didn't have an escape plan.
Did too. They built a spaceship and left the planet. Do you think someone said back then, "Quick, grab the fork, Rex. Grab it before the asteroid strikes"?
Nope.
There you are.
I bet there's been at least one book written about dinosaurs escaping that meteorite in a spaceship.
No, it's nothing you spread on bread.
No, it is not.
Fly and earwax is not on the menu. I got one nonetheless.
The world is an online exchange portal, and you have a flat rate.
And that can be pretty nifty sometimes. Let's move you back to there. There we go. Now let's use this with the pinking shears.
No. I'd hate to carry the earwax.
We've heard that one before.
When I look at my piece of art closely, oh dear, I might need therapy after all.
Uh-oh.
Someone's already immortalized.
We've heard that one.
I can forge signatures, and I can put flies in earwax.
And people say you can't have everything.
But Edna managed to anyway.
If I'm going to stir that, I'm no better than the barkeeper.
But what if you aren't any better than the barkeeper? Ponder that one and despair.
No way. There are boundaries, even for me.
Come on, Edna. It can't be more disgusting than the stinky drink.
All right. I'll just take a tiny little sip. Tastes malty in a way.
So it wasn't as bad as the stinky drink. To be fair, what could be?
Someone's already immortalized.
What about the phone?
Yeah, great! No, wait a second. What exactly am I doing here?
We are combining phone with flying earwax. Why do you ask?
Chips with dip?
Not for me, thank you.
What about with the cocktail glass?
I don't have to decant that. The glass is filthy anyway.
That it is. What about toenail?
I don't see why not.
Now there are 2 DNA samples. There will be toenail dinosaurs, the likes of which we've never seen before. Time to use this with the ashtray.
It could be a container for
Only for.
No difference there. Now I'm curious about 2 things, actually 3 things with this. First, what happens if we use it with the TV set?
The fly is a big...
It's exactly the same. Alright. Second, what if we use this with the shelf of infinite board games? Will it also be the same?
There's another game here. Extreme Combination.
No, that's different. Ha! Brilliant.
Care for some earwax on this?
Incredible. And I don't. And even.
That's no different though, and I imagine showing this to Joggle will also be exactly the same. But I am curious what will happen if we show it to this poster.
Not necessary.
That's the same. One last thing we can do before we hand this over to the professor, apart from handing it to B-Man, is to try and use it on that ashtray way in the corner with that coffee machine.
Waiter, there's a fly in my earwax.
I'm sorry about that. I ran out of hairs.
I didn't want a hair either, but I'm glad I did that before I used this on the ashtray and then gave it away. It's so nice and bright in this room, as opposed to this room where it's gloomy and gloomy. It's so gloomy, it's gloomy twice over.
I know! The magic word.
Give it up.
And that is exactly the same, and I'm double checking just to see, nope, there's no thing for press a button to get more coffee. I'm still curious as to how you get the coin back and get more coffee if you accidentally drink it. It'll be a mystery that we're likely never going to solve, unlike getting that ticket, which we're about to solve. Let's get one step closer to getting out of here. Of course, actually using the laundry lift system might be tricky if we don't have a way to actually use that conveyor belt. Unless we hold on to it. We could hold on to it, but one of our hands is always holding on to Harvey. Can we grab it with just one hand? Okay, Professor, we've got exactly what you need here. Just don't look too carefully at it.
I've got something for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. Dino DNA embedded in amber, like it should be. This is exactly what I need for my dino breeding program. May I keep it?
What will you give me in return?
Well, the only thing I can give you is my ticket for the laundry lift. After all, I no longer need to travel to my Peruvian amber mines. Do we have a deal?
Done deal. This is supposed to be a ticket? That's just a coat hanger.
Oh, that's how we're going to use the system. It has a number 3 on it. And that is the number of the ticket. I get it now. We have coat hanger number 3. The possibilities are endless.
Number 3.
Marvelous. Let us talk to coat hanger number 3.
Are you my ticket to freedom?
It may very well be. Harvey?
A wooden leg holder. But where's the wooden leg?
I don't think it's actually meant to hold a wooden leg.
I have a train ticket and a screwdriver.
And a good measure of imagination, too.
And a capital T where there shouldn't be one.
Sometimes you have to ask the question, what's more important? To try something out or to actually achieve something?
In order to achieve anything, you'd have to try out first. But in this case, don't.
Why not? We may make a super mallet.
Good idea. I'll just write in a more useful number. What the? Gosh darn it! The print is some kind of dirt-repellent microfiber. It's impossible to write over that.
What? What wizardry is this?
In this panel, Captain Useless says, We don't need any coat hangers where we're going.
Where are they going that they don't need coat hangers?
When I'm out of here, I'm sure the first thing I'll do will be hang my pot holders tidily in the wardrobe.
You should do stand up.
At least my imaginary friend sees my true potential.
You could definitely get everyone laughing out loud at your jokes. They're so silly.
Nothing is harder to wash out of your clothes than mustard. Besides ketchup.
And stinky drink. Don't forget stinky drink.
Nothing is harder to wash out of your clothes than ketchup.
And you didn't say besides mustard. I was expecting you to do so, just to be contrary.
Tonight, Inspector C. Oathanger is on patrol again to pull down the pants of organized crime.
The moth-eaten corduroy jacket of justice never sleeps.
It's probably better if you just arrest it rather than pull its pants down.
A long, long time ago, there was a beautiful cornflake and a coat hanger. The coat hanger was poor, and the cornflake, well, she was a rich princess. Although the king had forbidden this union, they found their way to one another. Their love lasted for a blissful 12 hours. Finally, the coat hanger asked, "What's for breakfast?"
And then the love died.
Hey, if I attach the water cup to the coat hanger this way... Oh, it does in fact not look like a tin can telephone. Dang it, I think I ruined the cup.
Oh no, we lost the cup, didn't we? No, the cup is still here! Ha ha! You didn't ruin the cup, Edna. You just punched yet another hole in it. No one will notice.
Although it's possible to cook coat hangers, it's quite impossible to eat them.
Another example of cause leaving effect high and dry.
You're just not trying hard enough, Edna.
I like the idea of keeping keys in a closet. It may sound stupid, but I'm afraid of locked closets.
That is not stupid at all.
Fiona Closeoff, will you take Oliver Forkson as your lawful wedded husband?
Marry a man named Oliver Closeoff from now on? Forget it.
And thus the romance died.
What am I supposed to do? Carve an escape vehicle out of the coat hanger?
Oh yeah, make it a red one.
I'm not sure she can actually do that. She might try, but she'll probably fail.
The coat hanger is not on the menu. I got one nonetheless.
The world is a radio show, and you have requested Bob Dylan.
And everyone who likes Bob Dylan is very happy to hear that.
I'll wait until a dress gets entangled in this coat hanger. Then I'll cut it up from behind.
And then you'll have the remnants of a dress. We now have more space in our inventory, by the way. It'll fill up pretty soon, I'm sure.
In order to get to the therapy session, I have to go through the laundry lift system. Isn't that a little odd?
I didn't make the rules. I just opposed them.
And I certainly didn't make the rules. I don't even know what the rules are.
No can do. The laundry lift ticket is not transferable.
There are many things the laundry lift ticket is not. You just have to ask the ticket inspector to get a list of all of them.
There's no signature on the coat hanger.
I should say there is. A certain Mr. 3 has left his John Hancock on there.
I'll just pretend I never heard that.
Me too. What about using the shovel?
Congratulations! You have found the most unlikely combination. You should be awarded a prize. I'm afraid we only develop adventure games, not first-person shooters. And everyone knows that you can't make money with adventure games. This is why we can't give you the reward you deserve. Sorry.
Did you hear that, Harvey?
If you don't ask, then I can't lie to you. So let's not talk about it anymore, okay?
Wait, I want the prize! What was the prize? And that's really the most unlikely combination you could think of? Really?
Before I go to bed, I'll have to hang the straw in the wardrobe. Please remind me of that, Harvey. Okie dokie.
Now, why did Harvey say that with Edna's voice? I'll put that down to a mistake rather than anything specifically intentional.
No can do.
And that's the same as before.
Maybe I can use the coat hanger as an aerial.
Toot, toot, toot. Beep, beep. The number you have dialed is not listed at the moment. Beep, beep.
Too bad.
Oh, where'd they go?
I can open it with my bare hands. But I'll wait until I find something to coat with flakes.
And when we find the bear, we'll be sure to hand it its hands back.
I think cocktails are usually decorated with little umbrellas and some fruit.
By the way, what are the umbrellas for? So you don't sneeze in your drink?
We'll never know, Harvey. It's one of those mysteries that life contains that's just never solved.
I have a train ticket and a screwdriver.
And a good measure of imagination, too.
And that one doesn't have a capitalized T at the end. I wonder why. And so, when we come back, folks, we have a coat hanger. Our way through the laundry lift system, which means we could possibly go and get our cups back, which means we can put cups absolutely everywhere, and doodle absolutely everywhere as well. But only if we can actually use this to get out of here. We may only be able to get to the second floor with this. I don't know the specifics of how the system works. I'm not the ticket inspector after all. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.